Hello, my stamping friends. It's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. And thank you for joining me today on my Mystery Monday video. So our last video using some products from our retiring catalog, because our new one, which looks like this, goes live tomorrow. So if you would still like to have a copy, or if you live in Canada and are looking for a demonstrator, I'd love to help you out. Just leave me a note or message me and I'd be happy to get one of these off to you. So exciting times coming for that. A lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipe, I think, tomorrow. But for today, we are still going to take a look at one of the items that is retiring. Now, it's the Cheerful Daisies bundle, which has been around for a little bit, and it's one of my favorites. I really, really love this. So these are the stamps, and it comes with these fantastic dies. Now, sad news is the actual stamp set is gone. It's been sold out. However, the dies are still available on the last chance list, and they are almost 50% off. So a really great deal. And the card we're doing today actually is just going to use the dies. We are not going to use the stamp set. So that might give you a little bit of inspiration for how to use some of these dies. So the project, I was inspired by Deb Chronister of stampwithdeb.com. And this is pretty much similar to her design. I just switched up a few of the elements and the dies. She actually used a die set that is coming out in the new, I believe, online exclusives tomorrow. But I did use one of the dies from that new product. So they are actually called the Impressions A Bloom dies, and I use those for the basket. So I will show you, I can't show you the dies just quite yet, but I will show you how I use them to make this basket. And these other pieces are all just with the Cheerful Daisies dies. Okay, so a little bit of cutting, but I thought it was really cute and very springy. All right, so let's get started. So I am using a piece of Highland Heather as our base. So our usual 8.5 by 5.5. And again, I will post all of these measurements on the post, and it will also be put on YouTube if you ever want to go and revisit it. And then I cut a piece of basic white and I embossed it through the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder. Now this is actually also on the last chance list, and it's also on sale, and it is a 3D folder, so it's a little bit thicker than our normal, but a really, really great embossing folder. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to put that on top of our base, and then we will get to putting our basket of flowers together. And I did a little bit of flower shopping to get going on my flower pots in our yard on the weekend, and it's just so beautiful to see all this beautiful color out there again. So I can't wait. Okay, so that is our base. So for the basket, I used the Woven Textures Designer Series paper, which is an online exclusive item, which I believe I used last week in my video. And it's also in the online exclusives. It's available now. And I used this die from the Impressions A Bloom dies. It's actually an oval die. And when you cut out your paper, it comes out in two pieces. So you have this and you have this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut each of these pieces in half and then make a basket out of them. So you'll actually get two baskets out of one one pass through your machine. So I'm just going to get out my paper trimmer. Now this is about 4 inches long. So I'm going to cut it in half at about 2 inches. So I'm going to put the base. I hope you can see this on the camera. Maybe I can move it this way and you can see better. So I'm just going to put the base of it, of the oval, on the 2-inch line. Make sure that's flush and give it a swipe. So this is going to form the bottom of the basket, right? And this looks like it's woven. Oh, love it. And then I'm going to do the same with this outline piece, which is going to form our handle of the basket. So same measurement, you line the base of the oval up at the 2-inch mark. Make sure this is pretty much flush and just give it a gentle cut. Okay, and there you have your handles. Isn't that just so clever? That was Deb's instruction on how to make this basket, so I thought that was great. So we basically get 2 baskets out of one of those oval cuts. Isn't that great? Okay, so one I'm going to set aside because we're only going to do 1 card here. And I'm going to flip these over so you can decide, like, do you want this pattern of the designer paper, or do you want this one? So I'm going to have this on the front, so I'm going to flip this around and flip this around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this handle on the back with just some adhesive, or you can use liquid glue, whatever you like. Okay, so I'm just going to line up my edge here along the edge of this top edge of the basket. So however high or low you want it to be. And of course my fingers get sticky with all of this adhesive, but we'll see here. Okay. So we'll put this one here and just give it a press, and there is our basket. Is that just not so clever? I think that's great. And you've got this little bit of stitching, which is on that die here too. Okay, so that'll be on the handle. Okay, so now we can attach our basket on the base of our card. So I am going to pop this up with some dimensionals, and I'm only going to stick down the bottom part of the basket because we are going to fill this with flowers, and that should help tack down the handle a little bit, I think. And if need be, we can always go in a little bit later and tack that other part down if we need to. Okay, so I'm going to sort of center this, kind of. So I'm sorry for the shadow. There's a bit of a shadow on my window today because there's a few clouds coming in. So I apologize for that. So hopefully you can see the basket. Okay, so now it's a matter of adding our flowers. So I did pre-cut a couple, and some we're going to put together. So I did 5, but I'm going to switch this one up a little bit. I'm just going to use purples for this one, purple daisies. Excuse me. But in here I did a couple of different colors. I have Flirty Flamingo, the Highland Heather, and the Daffodil Delight with an espresso center. But you could make any color of daisies. You could switch up the base, you could switch up the overlays, just make it all one color, make it multicolored, all different. There's so many options that you can do. Okay, so on these overlays, I did put an adhesive sheet because it's just way easier for me to stick these down with an adhesive sheet. And then what I do is I just kind of rotate this around until I'm happy. I'm sure there's probably a more direct way to do this, but I'm just going to wing it and line it up how I think it'll be fine, which is like so. Okay, so we have our big one, and then here I cut this overlay. This is gorgeous grape, by the way, and then I'm going to do another one. I have 2 like this, which are out of the Fresh Freesia. So this one has a little more, a few more little juts to it, so it might take me a minute. But I'm sure you guys, if you've ever worked with this set, you've probably got it totally figured out. Oh, I think this is not too bad here. Let's do that. Okay, so there's our fresh freesia, and then the last one is our Highland Heather, which is the same as our card base. My goodness, I have a frog in my throat. Sorry about that. And then we will line this one up here, kind of on the bottom, like so, for our third shape. Okay, so now I am going to put, instead of espresso centers, I'm just going to put on some Daffodil Delight centers. I thought that might be kind of fun. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. You could use adhesive if you wanted. You don't need very much, I don't think, because this does stick very well. So I'm just going to cover up this bottom and add our center there. Okay, and then there are two sizes of centers. So there's these smaller ones in the dies that I'm using on the smaller flowers, and then there's a larger one that I will put on the larger daisy, which is like this. So it is a little bit larger, but that's okay. And we will just put this like in the middle. I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but we'll just cover up that center. All right, so now we can put all of these inside our basket and also with a bit of this greenery. So I cut out some of these petals with Garden Green, and this is from a larger die. And then I thought, well, we'll do the other piece out of Granny Apple Green. So I might need a couple of extra leaves. Let me see if I have some extras kicking around, just in case. Might as well get prepared. I did get a few extras when I was cutting. So let's just throw a couple of single ones here, just in case we need them. We'll see. Okay, so let's start. I think I'm going to start with this larger branch or whatever this is. So again, you could put adhesive. You could have probably put it on an adhesive sheet as well, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Hopefully it won't seep too much, but a lot of it's going to get covered. You can put a little bit on the other parts too if you want to tack them down. And let's just put this sort of here, and that's going to be behind our flowers. Okay, so it's not totally tacked down, but it's fine. All right, and then let's start with our flowers. Do we want to do the same pattern, or do we want to switch it up? I do like the idea of this large one in the back. But do I want it in the front, or do I want it up a little higher? Maybe I will just do it a little bit higher here. So I'm going to pop these with dimensionals as well, because I do want them to pop up. And let's put this large one. Oh, which way do I want this to go? This is just your own individual placement, wherever you would like these to go. Okay, let's just start here. You have to start somewhere, right? Okay, and then we will put one of these down. If you wanted to do all pink ones, that would be nice. Or yellow ones, that would be nice. So these are going to overlap a little bit, and that is perfectly fine. And you could use mini dimensionals if you think that's a little bit easier. Okay, so let's put this one here, and then we're going to add all of our leaves after. We're just going to sort of try to tuck them in wherever there is space. So let's see, let's put this one maybe here. this last one we're going to tuck in behind. So we have a little bit of difference in color here. I guess I could have done another, excuse me, another darker, gorgeous grape one, but that's okay. We'll just stick this one. Ooh, it's getting stuck on this branch here. Oops. Do I want it under or over? Let's try going a little bit under. Like so. Okay, there are our flowers. So now we have some other leaves to try to fit in there. So I'm going to bring my glue out again. I'm going to bring this out to my silicone mat. Okay, so let's just put a little bit of glue on the back. I'm not putting a ton on because I think it should hold, I'm hoping. So let's sneak one under here. Okay, and if it's not all down, that's okay. I'm all right with a little bit of the leaves popping up. But if you wanted to definitely adhere all of it, you certainly could. Nothing wrong with that if you want to make sure they're not going to come off. Okay, and on there I put one, sort of, I tucked it if I can. Lift these up a little. I'll sort of separate them maybe, and those will get put under there. So how's it looking? The green is coming. All right, let's see where this one's gonna go. I do have those little extra ones. And you can add as little or as many if you wanted to add more granny apple green. I'm just mixing up the greens. On my sample, I did them all the same shade of green. But this one, I'm mixing up a little bit. So I'll put that one there. And then these two, maybe I'll just randomly stick them in. I don't know. How much green is too much green? That's a question. All right. Gives it a nice contrast anyway. Guess I could have done all of these out of granny apple green too, and the other sprig out of the garden green. That would have been a little brighter, but that's okay. We'll stick it like that. Okay, so our flowers are attached. So the last thing is to put a greeting. Now, I said we're not going to use the stamp set, but if you have it already, feel free. There are some really cute greetings in there. But I pulled these out today, and I don't know if you have seen these. These are the Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. So these are pre-printed die cuts with a whole bunch of different greetings. So I just want to show these to you quickly because these are wonderful in a pinch, or if you just maybe don't have the right sentiment in a stamp set, you have a whole variety in here that you can just pop out and put on your card. So you get 6 sheets. There's 3 different designs and you get 2 of each. So for example, you get this Merry Christmas. Okay, so this is one. You got Merry Christmas, congrats, all these other ones, and these are black on white. Happy birthday, thanks, oh, happy day. You could even color that in if you wanted. The second sheet, you've got some more Christmas, thank you, sorry for your loss, happy Valentine's Day, happy Mother's Day, which is next weekend. That might come in handy. So you've got 2 sheets of those, and the last ones, ta-da! They're white on black. So those are really neat too. If you want a little bit of pop of color, you can definitely do that. I'm debating now, do I want to do a black one? No, I don't think I want to add black maybe, but these would be fabulous on a card as well. So lots of different ones here. Happy holidays, sorry, best wishes, happy birthday, lots. So these are really, really wonderful. And good news, they are carrying over to the new catalog, so they will still be available. So my question now is, what am I going to use on this project? I do have a girlfriend that has a birthday coming up. I don't know if she likes purple, but, oh, this is pretty big. Is there a different, smaller birthday in here? Let's see. This is taking the longest of everything. Finding a greeting that I'm going to use. So this one is also pretty big. Oh my, what am I going to do? I thought there was oh, it was the black one that was smaller. That's why. Okay, you know what? I think I'll just use this Best Wishes here. I have Best Wishes on the other one, but this is a different font, and it's really cute. And I could just sort of pop that up as well. This one's a little bit smaller. That's why it fit there. This one is a teeny bit, but if I'm going to pop it up anyway, it might be just fine. Let's see if I can pop this up here. Oh, Best Wishes. Isn't that cute? So which do you like better? The assorted flowers or the one color flower? I guess anyone that loves purple might go for the purple. But I love the pink in here too, so I think that's really great. If you wanted to, you could also add a couple of little gems in the center, but I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to kind of overdo it. There's, you know, a lot going on right now, so I think I'll leave it at that. So yes, again, check my Facebook page starting tomorrow. There'll be lots of information about new things coming down the pipe that are happening and all happening tomorrow. New catalog, some new online exclusives, and I believe 3 new kits coming out for the month of May. So, and also if you'd like to be on my monthly newsletter, send me a little message and I'll be very happy to add your email to my email list, and you would get total notifications of everything coming down in the next month or so. So I hope you enjoyed that project and those dies, and have a great week, everyone. And we will see you next week with some new toys that we're going to play with. All right, we'll see you then. Have a great week. Bye for now.